House, bro. Are we on?
We're live. We're rolling.
Welcome to Mickey House, bitch. Not.
That's how we start things now, with a strong conservative president.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to start it off like that.
It's not a political show, but I think we need to talk about the Mark Zuckerberg T-Pain collab.
And what position in the cabinet Gentry will be getting. Gentry and Johans for
Director
Secretary of Education, Director of DNA.
They're getting rid of the FDA and the CIA and the FBI, and they're just adding in the DNA, bro.
All the DNA.
Hold on, I gotta let Beryl out.
I'm sorry.
You can come sit up here. Can you stop with the camera, buddy?
It's like he knows that we
I got the spray bottle. Go under. There you go. You can sit under the coffee table.
Go under.
Oh, freak. Yeah, pretty depressing week, and it's dark, and it's only fucking 6 p.m.
Bro, this seasonal depression is killing me already.
Just getting, having
Literally.
to work. I don't get any, there's no daylight for me to do anything anymore. So.
I've been more productive than I have in years for the last 5 months, and I have literally like 2,500 yo-yos coming to my house over the course of the next 3 weeks, and it's like, great, I should feel awesome, and like I feel nothing right now.
It's really, really difficult.
Between the election and the season, like the state daylight savings, it's awful.
It's very hard to it's so much easier to come home and there's light out to be like, I'm going to do some chores. I'm going to get some shit done around the house. When I come home now, I'm like, I take a shower and I'm like in PJs. I'm like, I'm just going to, and then I look at the clock and it's like 5:30. I'm like, I have so many hours, but I don't want to do any. It makes me tired.
Yeah,
it sucks.
It's not fun, but whatever. We're going to strive through it. We should go to Florida States next month.
I was thinking about it.
I kind of want to now that the whole country's gone to shit, but
yeah, might as well.
I'm just kidding for our Republican listeners. Please don't stop listening. Look at your face. They exist, Jake. Republicans yo-yo too, okay?
Yeah, I mean,
don't say anything.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's answer some questions.
Check off the Z-Pain, Zuckerberg, T-Pain. Wanted to mention that.
That didn't land quite how I wanted it, but
just funny stuff.
Did you see Zuckerberg? He's like, so he's working with Ray-Ban to make those Meta glasses.
Yeah.
But the company that owns Ray-Ban just bought Supreme. So like, there's a big conspiracy theory right now that there's gonna be a Facebook Supreme collab, or like they're gonna make a Supreme version of the Meta glasses to try to make them really cool. And that's why, I'm sure you've seen over the last 2-3 months, he's been like actually wearing hipster ass designer clothes and shit. And he's got like a stylist or whatever the fuck. So they think that could be like, I doubt that it's going to happen, because anybody who's in charge of the creative for Supreme knows that would like absolutely kill any
At
sort of.
At this point though, like what? No, that would make perfect sense. Everything is so fucking weird and shitty that Supreme fanboys will find a way to be okay with it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Or it'll come and everyone will be mad and then people will forget and so I could see that happening for sure.
Yeah, they're just one of those brands that like does still have like a large, not everyone, but like a big chunk of the people who still buy it are like people who fuck with the brand in terms of like the history and lineage and all that. So it's like, but I totally agree. It's like they don't necessarily care about those people anymore, and they know that those people will still think that the cool shit is cool no matter what they do with. And it's not exactly even up to them if it's, and
now
more than company.
Now more than ever, it's just like everything is like that saying of all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like literally everyone is just like embracing that. So it's like Supreme will be like, yeah, we'll do a Jeff Bezos collab, and like.
That was always my answer.
So much attention
at Yo-Yo Factory when shit would go awry, or like when I would make some sort of social faux pas, and they'd be like, "So like, what's the plan now, Tyler?" And I'd be like, "I don't know, man. Any publicity is good publicity, right?" And the Yo-Yo Factory out of anyone is always the one to flip any sort of publicity into the positive side of it. But anyway. What else? What else do you have on the docket?
I got, let's see.
Buy a Hypernova. I'll plug that at the top.
Yeah, and then let's talk
Hypernova
about
comes
them.
out tomorrow. By the time you hear this, it will be out.
I want to talk about all the team editions, but before we talk yo-yos on the yo-yo podcast, we can talk. Anyone have a touchscreen vape? You see those things?
Oh my god! I thought
Just
those were
more
fake when I
symptoms of
first saw them.
Me too. I saw them in a store, and I pointed them out to Michaela because it was like they're in a box, and it had like an iPhone screen on it. I'm like, that's a really strange like decal to put on
Yeah.
a vape. But then it turns out I saw on Reddit that it's an actual vape with a touchscreen that you can play.
Whatever.
I guess anything. Like it notifies you of calls, and it just connects to your phone.
I wonder what the resolution on the hub is on that bad boy.
I just can't.
That.
There's like $22, and then you just throw them out.
Nutting off the vape.
Oh yeah, you can. I don't know if they play videos. But
Does it
like
connect to?
I don't think it has like a web browser, but
yeah.
I mean they will soon.
I was gonna say it's a matter of time. But also, like we were talking about via DM, and like Michaela said, it's like. So they're disposable. You just throw them the fuck away afterwards. Like I could see that being a cool thing if it was still those vapes people had 10 years ago that they were all obsessed with modding and shit.
Yeah, no, they're disposable from what I understand. So just throwing touchscreen devices in the trash every week.
Yeah.
When you're done sucking the. They had really funny flavor names too. The one was like Death Rainbow or something.
I mean, do you remember when like MP3 players, like iPods came out, and then like after 2 or 3 years of iPods being around, like every tech manufacturer had an MP3 player, but like none of them were very good or like
the Zune.
Not even the Zune was like an iPod competitor, right? Yeah. Like people still like if you go into those refurb sites, people refurb those like iPods and Zunes, but like I had a Magnavox one, and it was like maybe I think it was like not even a gig. I think it was like 750 megabytes or something. So it was like whatever 50 songs or 55 songs. And God, I wish I still had that thing because like it's just such a piece of technology time. You know what I mean?
Do you remember? I think they were called TouchTunes. No, TouchTunes is the hit clips.
Yeah, the little they played like 30 seconds at Walmart.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, but like I feel like once technology kind of not reaches its end, but people can tell it's gonna like move on to the next thing. Like maybe there's something we don't know that like vapes are, but they're about to make more legislation to outlaw those vapes or something. Yeah. So they're just like, all right, fucking Hail Mary, let's throw a TV on the side of them. Like, cause that's how I feel like those MP3 players, where it's like none of them were built to last. They were all gonna break within a year or two, and like. Nobody's refurbing the Magnavox MP3 player. They're refurbing iPods, so it's like, and all those ended up in landfills. So like, I wonder if it's going to be the same thing with these vapes pretty soon. Like, who the fuck knows?
I don't know.
The amount of people that I see using disposable vapes though is insane. Like,
it's like everyone, yeah.
And it had like a strong downturn. Like, I forget exactly when they made the like regular vapes hard to get a hold of. But like once that happened, it was like nobody had one for like a year, 2 years. It was like vaping kind of ceased to exist. And then all of a sudden, like the first person I ever saw with one was Curdy. Not even the disposable ones, but like just the hardcore, like the hardcore post mod vape.
Dude, I had in like 2009 one of the ones that looked like it was called a green cig,
and it looked like a cigarette,
and you unscrewed the filter with different to like replace the flavor, but the white part of the cigarette was just a battery, and it had the little red light on the tip that lit up when you. And that my dad got it for me to help try to get me to quit smoking, and it didn't really work, but. That was a pretty early vape. It felt like weird, and it only came in like cigarette flavor.
And they weren't very strong, right? Like you were ingest nicotine, but it wasn't like now.
No, it was like an actual cigarette.
I bet if you
per puff versus like the super dose that you get now.
That's what I was gonna say. I bet if you were to measure how much you're actually inhaling one of those, it's like not a cigarette worth, but it's a lot of nicotine, you know. And you're vaporizing it. You're not combusting it, so it's like. I don't know if you're familiar with the weed science or not, but like when you smoke like a joint, it's combusting a lot of that.
Right.
It's just blowing into the air versus
vaporizing.
Right. Like you're just getting all that nicotine. It's vaporizing right into your lungs. It's crazy.
No, yeah. But then I did smoke.
You're good. I just got to fix that.
Oh, yeah. I smoked more and then cigarettes, and then I briefly for like 6 months I did the box mod, like the vapes that like the big ones, you know, that like you just drop juice into. And quitting that was like so much worse than cigarette. Yeah, just because I mean, I'm sure it's person to person, but I think it's just the amount of nicotine you're ingesting and then like going cold turkey off that versus off cigarettes.
Yeah.
I was having like night sweats and like crazy nightmares and like insane anxiety and stuff. So it's definitely a lot of nicotine you're ingesting, and I don't know what the little disposable ones are like. I always joke like I could just start vaping anytime and how weird that would be as a 33-year-old to I could just go after this. I could go down the street, just like they have like a wall of them. Like how do you even pick? You know what I mean?
It's
Just
insane.
be like I'll get one of those and just start sucking on that
And
shit.
it's also
every puff.
insane. Like cigarettes are already bad enough for you. We don't know how bad the vapes are, but it's like not to harp on China, but it's like you don't know what
That's
is
what I'm
in
saying,
these
dude.
things.
Yeah,
Like I'm not
I hate to sound like a paranoid boomer.
right. I'm
but
not
it's like,
saying that at all. I'm just saying like
why
I don't
do you
know.
like it's more likely that there's fucked up shit in there than not, I would feel
Yeah,
like. Just
yeah.
because they're
Or just
so cheap and
little
they're
regulation with
Yeah.
how the shit is made, you know.
but it's all bad. But you know, everyone needs advice, especially these days.
I'm a soda boy this week.
I'm a soda boy. I'm still on the soda. Yeah, it sucks, but hey, what are you gonna do? I have nothing else in my life.
Dude, my situationship this last week told me she judges me every time I get a soda when we go out.
Damn, bro.
I know, that makes me feel some
That
type
used to
of
be
way.
me though, so I would judge it. I would be like, "How? Why are you drinking soda? Just get water or seltzer." But look at me now. I'm on my
Yeah.
third mini Pepsi of the day.
And I go through phases, you know, like there's times where, and I don't drink soda unless it's like with a meal or I'm going out or a
Yeah.
special occasion. It's not like I'm drinking soda every day. Like if I did, my face would be so broken
Yeah.
out. But
No, mine is getting worse.
I know it's not
already.
good for you. I think it's one of those things, and there's this fashion page that I watch that does like these cool weekly trend reports, and this week they were talking about benders and like how every normal person goes on benders, and like because I don't smoke weed anymore or drink, it's like the only bender I have is like eating poorly.
Yeah.
And it's like
No, that's me too.
that's just this thing
Soda
you fall
and
into.
food,
yeah.
Yeah, I'll just be like, get a burrito 3 times a week.
Dude, the next time you go to Philly, and it might be hard because you kind of got to get there early, but well, if you go like on the weekend or something with Mick, like go to this place called Liberty Kitchen. You got to go to the one in Fishtown, and
I think I've heard of that. Yeah.
yeah, they've been going viral the last few weeks for this sandwich. It's a kale Caesar chicken cutlet sandwich,
Okay.
bro. I'm not even exaggerating. It's top 3 sandwiches I've ever eaten.
Kale Caesar.
Yeah, it's got Caesar dressing mixed in with the kale, and then put like in between chicken cutlets, and then it has fried onions on top of it too.
Damn.
Dude, it's fucking incredible. And like it's to the point where like they'll sell out of bread by like 3 p.m. every day because people will just come in and order too many of those sandwiches, or they'll run out of fucking kale. Like it's insane. Like
It looks really good.
they were saying how like 2 or 3 weekends ago it went viral in like June, and
Yeah.
then it went viral again in like the end of October. And a few weeks ago I was driving to hang out and wanted to get one of these sandwiches, and they were saying that they sold 1,200 in 2 days.
That's so crazy.
I
And
know,
they're probably
dude.
like what, $20?
They're like 18, yeah. It's a big sandwich. Like you and Mick could split it and
Yeah.
you'd have enough, you know.
Well, is the kale like it's cooked, right?
No, it's
No, it's
raw,
raw?
and it's hearty as fuck. Like
Yeah.
I don't even really
So
like
it's not too chewy. I feel like the texture would be weird with the cutlets.
I know you think so, but like, and
I'm
I was the
sure,
same
yeah.
way, but
Yeah.
like,
Because sometimes kale can be kind of tough, but
it is, but it's like, there's something about it. I guess because
Yeah.
it's like a big sandwich, or like maybe they like wash it in salt water or something.
the
and it
onions
kinda
are a nice
starts to-
touch too.
break it
the fried
down.
Onions.
Yeah,
That
but
looks
dude,
good.
something about like, because I think the same thing about kale. That's what I was just gonna say. Like, if I get like a kale salad, it just feels like you're a cow, just like chewing the whole time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
dude, this sandwich is like
Hell yeah.
it's other fucking worldly. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Like my mouth is watering right now just talking about it. I know I sound crazy, but like
I love Caesar. Love Caesar salad.
I've only gotten one Caesar salad ever in my life, and it was in Russia.
Really?
And yeah,
That's crazy.
because like it was just like a restaurant with all this meat and shit, and I hate eating meat in other countries just
Yeah.
because like it's hit or miss with how like good it's gonna. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I sound like such an ignorant American, but it's like, you know, you like in other
No, I know
countries
what you
they
mean.
like are cool with like really
Like boiled ass
yeah.
Eastern European.
Yeah, especially in Russia.
Yeah.
I hate that thing. But I ordered it thinking that I was just gonna be like an easy, like, oh, they'll bring the salad to the table and I'll have food quick or whatever. And they literally like did it like TikTok style. This was in 2010.
Where they
too.
like make the dressing in front of you.
And I was like, this is insane. Like, I can't believe this. All I wanted was a fucking salad, but whatever.
I love Caesar salad, man.
Yeah, after I've gotten this sandwich, it's really good.
Yeah, I've continued the middle class fancy bender. We finally tried.
Yeah, middle class fancy chain restaurants.
Wait. So we love Texas Roadhouse, but we finally tried. Was it Lone Star?
Yeah,
Lone Star.
the other one, yeah. It's like a black decor with like the Western kind of letters.
And it was good. It was just as good, I would say. I would be happy going to either of those places.
What's the other place you go to? Western
Texas
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. I think Lone Star might be a little better on the steak front.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like Lone Star is a little bit better. Is that the place you can throw peanuts on the ground?
Not at the location I went to.
Maybe
I feel
they
like
stopped
most
that.
places stop that because
Yeah.
like Five Guys doesn't even do that anymore.
You can get peanuts.
but I
You've
don't think
never
you're
been able to
supposed
throw them on the ground at Five Guys. Jake, what the fuck, man?
I guess I misremembered. I thought you could. Or the Five Guys I went to was just really shitty.
It might be another restaurant, but I swear
There was another one.
I think it was Lone Star though, because that was like the steakhouse like right around the corner from my house
Bob's
in
Big Boy
Delaware
or something.
No,
Remember Big Boy though? That was good.
I've never been to a Big Boy.
I wonder if there's one around. I gotta look, but I went as a kid. Anyway, Lone Star, great. We loved it. And then we had this crazy coupon that Mick got through work for Cracker Barrel.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I would normally hate Cracker Barrel or assume that I hate Cracker Barrel, but this coupon was crazy. It was like 2 free entrees, 2 free desserts, 2 free appetizers.
What the
it was
fuck
like
did
a
you buy?
completely free meal. So we got.
This is Biden's America, folks. It's just giving away Cracker Barrel.
I don't know. Cracker Barrel was. I feel weird even
Incredibly
saying it was
Republican.
good. It was good. We got steak. It was like a steak that with chicken fingers on the same plate, like a turf and turf.
Jesus
and
Christ.
The sides were like they got the hash brown casserole, which is just like hash browns with all this cheese and extra shit.
A croquette, as they call
Mac
it in
and
other
cheese.
countries.
Yeah, they had the biscuits were fucking good. Like everything was.
It's a good restaurant, dude. Cracker
good.
Barrel is.
I don't know why I just assumed it was awful, but it hit the spot, man. Is that out already?
No, I don't think so. It's just hard.
I can
to see
turn
with
off the lights behind
I
it.
don't think that's it. I think it's just
Maybe the color.
It's like really high,
You want to try a blue one?
maybe. Blue light.
Blue sticky note. I don't know if it would reflect better.
Is it easier to see now? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say other than
No, Cracker
Cracker
Barrel is great.
shot like the prices, even though it was free.
Cracker Barrel is shot.
Yeah, it was
They
free.
literally probably have 500 locations countrywide. You're like, give them a shot, man. They're
This little-
up and coming small
Little
business.
mom and pop. They had a nice gift shop out front. They had some craft root beers for sale by the bottle.
Yeah. No, Cracker Barrel is good. Like, that used to be when we would be on Yo-Yo Factory tours. Like, if I couldn't find anything else in town that was, like, that good, I would go there. And it's, like, it's a hearty meal. Like, it puts you out, you know what I mean?
No, it
Like,
was crazy. We took shit home, and then we had the free desserts with it, too. I forgot what we got. I got
Can't
the
say I've-
pecan pie.
ooh,
fucking good.
Can't say I've ever
Nothing-
gotten dessert there, but
Can't complain. And then Mick got some crazy, like, Coca-Cola chocolate fudge brownie
whoa,
cake
Jesus Christ.
that has, like, Coke in it for some reason.
That sounds like something you get at Sheets, but
Yeah.
we'll let it slide.
Waitress was the nicest girl. Just, it's perfect. It was a great
And
time.
they're like constantly packed. Like you rarely go into a Cracker
Dude, there was a
Barrel.
wait list. Yeah,
That's insane.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they have all those chairs for sale out front that everyone just sits on to
Mhm.
wait. Like it's mad
Oh, yeah.
funny.
And they have like checkers out, like big checkers, and then they have that game with the little pegs where you like
Yeah, what the fuck is
you
that?
jump the peg and you remove the one you jump,
Yeah.
and you're trying to get down to one peg or as like few as possible. So we were playing that the whole time.
You guys didn't even have to play Uno.
No, yeah. We're
They're
still
like,
on our
sorry, we don't
shit.
let that many colors of cards out in this restaurant.
Yeah, regular black and white cards only. And then
Only numbers.
yeah, people love that we play Uno at restaurants. So wait staff is always commenting on how cute and great that is, and I highly recommend it to anyone. It's something to do at the restaurant, you know. But speaking of bad shit, I saw this thing on Instagram today. I think Tim Heidecker posted it. They have a new feature. I don't know if it's for every account or just like verified rich people accounts, but yeah. Framed up.
Yeah, my bad.
No, you're good. I saw someone post on Instagram.
Tim Heidecker, friend of the show, 1 degree away from Harry Shaw.
He is from Allentown. He's from here. But yeah, you can. IG has a feature where you can I guess it asks you a bunch of questions and you create an AI that's like you that will then answer all your DMs for you. So carry on a conversation with people.
That is insane.
Yeah, and he just posted it I promise I will never fucking do this insane shit. But.
Yeah, that's wild.
So now you might DM a famous person and just get an answer and then have a whole conversation, but it's just AI.
Well, thank God all I do is ask him for nudes. Just DMing Rihanna daily for the last 3 years asking for nudes.
The last 15 years.
Please, nudes, Rihanna. I'm glad you're happy with A$AP Rocky, but please, I want to see your breasts, your bobs and vagine, please.
But yeah, I'm going to set that up so anyone who DMs me from now on,
there
will be no
talking
to me ever again. So
ever again. One more piece of AI to ruin the world.
It's really
has
fucking
to be water
crazy,
cooled.
dude.
That's wild. I never heard of that. But I hate when you're trying to search for something on Instagram and you accidentally click the AI thing.
Yeah.
And it opens up a whole new window and you're like, what the fuck is this?
And
why?
then it's in your DMs all of a sudden.
Dude.
It's like, hey, I'm Instagram. I just delete. I tried to block it on Facebook because Facebook has the same shit.
Did you ever instant message? I think we've talked about this, maybe not on the pod, but when we were kids,
Yeah.
Smarter Child. You remember that?
Yeah. That was AI, right?
Yeah, but a very
it was a
low
bot.
form.
Yeah, it's not really
right?
AI.
Yeah. It was just, and you just try to trip it up and be like,
yeah.
What? Do you like to have sex, Smarter Child? It's I am a computer and no such pleasures.
Smarter Child. I forgot about that, dude.
Yeah, I think they killed it off in 2009 or something like that. But what else? What else is on the docket? I brought
so much shit on the docket.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I got a good amount today. Let's see. I asked for questions on Instagram earlier. We got a bunch here. I'm just gonna start at the big. Holy shit.
How many did you get? Jesus Christ. Oh my God. We're going to do them all, I guess.
Yeah.
90 questions.
All right. Favorite movies. Freddy Got Fingered. How about you?
Ooh, that used to be my favorite
That's
movie.
my favorite
That's what I
movie.
used to always say. And
Yeah.
I when yo-yos would come over my house, I'd make them watch it.
Oh, it's so good.
And it would
bro.
just be the older you get, the more you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
is still just outrageous. And,
I love it. It's really good.
what's my favorite movie nowadays? I really don't have one. I don't even really fuck with movies, to be honest. That's a hard part of dating new girls is because girls love movies. Girls love to fantasize. And yeah, I don't like movies really, to be honest.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, I don't really like
That's
anything.
Understandable.
What's your favorite movies, Fred? So you're going with Freddy Got Fingered?
Freddy Got Fingered. There's also, if along those lines, I mean, I like lots of movies, but Freddy Got Fingered is very funny. In an
Favorite
absurd
TV
way.
shows are Wire,
Sopranos.
Sopranos, and Oz.
There you go. That's a movie. Those are all movies, basically. Just
Yeah.
super long movies.
And I like watching Forensic Files and Cold Case and Law and Order SVU.
Nice. Yeah, I
that's
like
it.
true crime shit. Cold Case Files. Another movie like Freddy Got Fingered that's more modern. I think it came out in 2013. It's called Movie 43. Have you ever heard of that? It was like a sleeper, and it's similar to Freddy Got Fingered. It got panned horribly critically, but it's a what's the fucking a Farrelly brother? Peter
Oh.
Farrelly made it,
Really?
but he made it as a fuck you to Hollywood. So he tricked Hugh Jackman and Jeremy out, Kate
Oh.
Winslet.
Is it that
It's
movie
all
with
A-list people, but it's just basically sketches.
And they
It's
have like
called-
a single scene or
yeah,
something. Yeah.
and they're all fucking like Freddy Got Fingered level stupid, like absurd. But
But
they're
he
all
got all
A-list
these people
celebrities.
to.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to say you're in a Fairly Brothers movie?
Exactly.
You know? Like,
So it's very strange. I don't know why no one has heard of it. Really.
I have heard of it now that you mention it, but it was like
Yeah.
you said, it got panned by critics, and
I
I'm
think
sure
like Halle Berry, like it's insane.
it's
like,
all A-list. It's
Yeah.
literally every A-list act. Like I don't maybe
Mhm.
Tom Cruise is in it or Matthew McConaughey.
the
Like
McLovin kid. Yeah, it's very funny. I think it's free on Amazon right now. You should check that out.
Office Space is a good movie.
Yeah, I got the.
You got a good little.
I got a good
collection
little
up here.
collection.
The
I
20
like,
disc Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
I just got
that's insane,
the entire Aqua Teen Hunger Force on DVD.
Yo-Yo just gave me access to their Plex account. Are you familiar with what this
no,
is?
what's that?
It's like where you upload what like your media collection basically, and you just house it online like on a server somewhere, so you can access it at any time, and then like you can train it to be like, oh, download like any new documentary that comes out, download any new horror
Is this
movie that
legal?
comes out.
Is
No,
it like a gray?
it's a
like
form of file
BitTorrent?
sharing. Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. That's cool.
but it's all private. It's like invite only.
I gotta look into that. Damn.
Yeah,
Because I have all this shit that I buy out of like worry that shit's gonna go out of
right.
Because
Yeah,
you can't find Freddy Got Fingered streaming anywhere that I know of.
yeah,
So,
and
like,
it's
you
crazy
can't-
because the quality of the Plex stuff is like really good. Like,
Damn,
yeah, I
dude.
was surprised.
I gotta get in there.
Yeah, remind me after the pod. I'll tell you who
Yeah,
it
I would
is,
love
and they'll
to check
probably
that
give you
out.
an invite. I'm sure.
Anyway, I love lots of movies. Banshees of Inisherin is a good movie that's newer. I like all the Paul Thomas Anderson movies. My other favorite movie is probably Phantom Thread. Phantom Thread and Freddy Got Fingered. Best of both worlds. Drew Tate's asks, if Bob Burnquist was going to do a mega ramp yo-yo trick, what would it be? The mega ramp was sweet. Was
Yeah.
that Bob Burnquist? Wasn't it? Didn't not Rob Deerdick. Oh, fuck. Is he coming for you?
so. Is he?
Did you just jump for
Yeah.
no reason?
Yeah.
He's way over here sleeping.
Just break your TV.
That's trauma, bro. That's real trauma. Who was the other guy? Was it Bob? I met Bob Burnquist.
Who?
at X Games.
The Mega Ramp guy? You're
Yeah,
asking? Danny Way.
Danny Way. That's the other one.
Danny Way's a crazy anti-vaxxer guy.
Yeah,
now.
he like fell off
Yeah.
the deep end. Rob Deerdeck sucks now too. Have you seen like his? I guess it's a podcast or
Yeah.
his whole Instagram is him like talking to the camera about like
like a
stupid
fake
hustle
podcast, yeah.
motivation. Just like
He is
See
a
what I
very
did-
successful guy,
Yeah,
but
he
it's
is.
annoying. Like
it's so annoying. It's so.
there's
so
another
annoying.
skater named Mikey Taylor, and like he's on the same type of wave, but he's like not nearly
People
as
hate him,
successful as
right?
Paul as Rob
Gifted
Dyrdek,
hater
yeah.
always talks about him.
Yeah, because he sounds crazy,
Yeah.
but like he's just on some like
and Paul Rodriguez.
middle class California life, like trying to be an entrepreneur, and like he's successful, but it's like it's just insufferably annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, just shut up and skateboard. But like he doesn't even do that anymore because he makes significantly more money just owning apartment complexes. And
Yeah, right.
whatever the fuck else he does.
I don't know what a big yo-yo trick.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I don't know. That's a great question, but
Giant Texas Cowboy.
yeah, the one year at BAC, I think were you there? 2008 BAC?
No.
No. Someone had a skate. I think Paul. It was like right when Paul Hahn got into skateboarding,
Yeah.
and I did a Texas Cowboy and ollied over it,
Oh hell yeah.
which is like like to this day I still cannot do it. Somehow I did it like first try there.
Yeah.
Because I was probably like had just stopped skating like a year and a half ago before it or whatever, and then like I kept trying it over and over again and just like fucking up my yo-yo. It was crazy.
Damn.
Like I just completely destroyed a bolt that I just bought from Doc, and then he got like a really terrible Polaroid of me trying to ollie over it, and yeah, it was bad. But
That's still sick. Yo-yo
Yeah.
skate tricks are underrated. Gotta get more. Do a whole video of those.
yeah, Jensen did a cool one that like he just rides over. He does like a Texas Cowboy and then like rolls over top of the string and like does just literally like rides the skateboard over the string as you swipe underneath of it. But
Gotta do like this would be impossible, I guess, but like a 50-50 grind down a handrail and have the yo-yo on the
Jesus
other handrail
Christ.
at the same time. That would be impossible, but In my head, it looks cool.
Like in my head, I'm like, maybe I could like do a 50-50 on a box and then do like a Texas Cowboy and land back on it.
Yeah,
But you're just asking to get fucked up because it's
yeah,
like impossible to hold the bounce. But it's a good idea. Maybe next time I go to the skate park, I'll bring a first base and try it out.
yeah.
That'd be funny.
Psychedelic delicatessen asks, has Tyler ever competed while tripping on acid or mushrooms?
No.
Yeah.
I've definitely done psychedelics and other party favors right after my freestyle or like
Yeah.
that night, and yeah, it's insane.
I never had much luck yo-yoing on either of those things.
Yeah, someone in the
It's not very
yo-yo
fun.
chat group posted a video of them yo-yoing on acid this week, and it looked really bad. And
It
like,
doesn't, for me, it never worked. You would think like it might be sick, and it's just not. It's like
yeah,
too much stimulation, too weird.
I got really into mushrooms in 2023 because I was just so depressed, and I was like, I need like to hard reset, you know.
Yeah.
So Virginia States.
I remember that.
I was
yeah.
like bringing them to every contest, and it was like
Yeah.
crazy because it's not like weed where it's like everyone can just hit the joint one time and it'll be fun. It turns the party insane. Like there would literally be people like melting into walls, and other friends of ours being like, "Are you okay, man? Like what's going on?" And I was like, "I can't do this anymore. I gotta stop." And then I don't know if I've told this story on the pod or not, but there was like a moment where one of the yo-yoers that was staying at the Airbnb, I think, were you at the Airbnb that year? And they threw up in the bed, and then nobody wanted to sleep in that bed, so I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll sleep in this bed. And I'm just laying there just tripping off mushrooms the night before. I ran the contest.
Yeah.
And I think I got maybe 45 minutes of sleep cumulative that night. But like I'm just laying there and thinking about how in 2009 like was the first time I got really really drunk, and they put me in Charles Schuler's mom's bathrobe in the bathtub and just like to make sure I didn't vomit all over his house or anything.
Wow.
And I was just laying there in my own vomit and like thinking, and then I was thinking in 2023, I'm like, fuck, I've been doing the same thing for 14 years. This is insane.
That's a really bad thought to have on mushrooms.
I know, bro. And then one more mushroom story, and then we'll move on.
Oh no, yeah.
I went to see the Grateful Dead last summer, and it was like such a fun day because like for some reason I didn't smoke weed all day, or like smoked very little weed. And then like right as we're about to walk into the stadium and like putting our bags in our car, I bought a mushroom chocolate bar from some guy skateboarding by, and I was like, oh fuck it. And then like it was me and another friend, and he just started like eating it, like not a bunch. He maybe ate like 2 or 3 squares. It was maybe like a gram and a half, and I ate like 7 or 8 squares. I ate like 3.5, 4 grams, and like that was by far the highest I've ever been. And then like the craziest part was like they were playing on the big screen, like when you go to a stadium show, or any big show, it'll like play what's happening on the stage. And they kept like the band members are really old, you know what I mean? And so like they would splice out like shots from someone on stage like playing guitar and like just being really into it. And I was just so high and I was like so engrossed. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And then it would like fade into Jerry Garcia playing in like 1992, which he still looked pretty old back then, even though he was like 40 or whatever. And I was just so high. I was like, why are they like, what's going on? Like, this guy isn't on stage. I was like confusing them for each other. And it's like the guy who was playing on stage in the current moment looked so old. It was like, and then they would like fade in and out to like skeletons and shit too. And I was like, this is insane. Like, I can't believe this. And then all my friends went to get food, and a bunch of other people like came up and thought they found like a free spot to stand at, and they're like, oh, sick. And I was just like, you guys, you can't stay here. Like, my friends, they're gonna come back, they're gonna be so disappointed. And they like could just tell I was out of my fucking mind.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And they were like, are you sure people are here, man? I'm like, yes, I have 5 friends. They were standing right here. They're gonna be back. I'm trying not to laugh and be serious and like an adult, and they're just kind of giving me the side eye, like,
Yeah.
are you sure, man? And then they came back. It felt like they were gone for an hour and a half. They were probably gone for like 15 minutes. So when they got back there, I was like, oh my gosh, guys, thank God you're back. Like these
My
big
5
scary
friends.
guys.
They're like, yeah, this guy's 5 friends: Jerry, and Kurt, and Jim Morris.
All right.
They're here.
End of
That's
the
awesome.
mushroom stories. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't compete on that. I feel like people have, but
Yeah, but basically every
No point.
freestyle from 2010 through 2000 and basically every freestyle from 2010 till I retired, other than in Japan. When I prelimed in Japan, I was not high.
Yeah.
We had weed in Japan, but I wasn't high at the contest in Japan. Yeah, I was high for all of those, which is crazy.
You're
Like,
stone sober world champ though.
yeah, that
Yeah.
too, right?
I wonder what the stats are like on that. I feel like most yo-yos, a lot of them smoke weed, but I don't think many world champions
not when you get to that level, right?
have
like,
won.
when
Yeah.
they're high. Yeah.
Sure, maybe one or two.
Yeah, I was on YouTube the other day doing research for the Duncan freehand that's gonna come out, and
Yeah.
I was like just looking at like some freestyles I could download to make content out of, and somebody Ben Gates made a playlist on the Yo-Yo Central YouTube channel. I have
Yeah.
143 freestyles up
Wow.
on it, yeah, which I'm sure 40 or 50 of them are prelims, but it's still so fucking many freestyles.
That is
like,
crazy. My list is like 12 on there. Favorite 3A trick from Warlock chest buckle. Koro neck. No, just kidding.
yeah, I guess.
Nah, I mean it's a good one. I like a good old double trapeze. When
yeah,
they do
double
it real
trapeze
nice.
looks great,
It
or
looks
like the
then
repeater
they
double trapeze. Where
Oh yeah,
hit
yeah,
one of
yeah.
those.
Or yeah, the double trapeze and then dismount and go like the other way. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I don't know.
He's
Anything
not-
with that symmetrical is cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like symmetrical stuff is cool. All the Hank's velvet roll combos where they
Oh yeah.
like
Go different directions.
yeah, counter
Hank's
weight.
velvet roll anything, yeah, is so good. Velvet rolls in general.
Hiroki Miyamoto, like he basically had a 3-minute freestyle of just all bangers, like which is insane to think back to. But
When was that? I remember that.
2006, I think he won,
Yeah.
maybe, and he won with the original Yo-Yo Wreck Yo-Yo. I want to say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 3A's popping off. We love it. We got a triple banger from Brian Melford here.
Oh God.
What's the next advancement that will improve yo-yos? Gold bearings.
Bring back gold bearings. Make gold bearings great again. I don't know. Like I still don't think that the material science behind yo-yos has A, pinnacled, or B,
Yeah.
like 99% of the titanium yo-yos that come out, I feel like are just like, oh, this yo-yo sold really well, so we'll make a titanium version of it. And
Yeah.
it's like,
They're
but when
not optimized.
right, when you read the copy or you talk to a yo-yo designer about why would you even bother making something out of titanium, it's like, oh, it's thinner, you can spread more of the rim weight to the rim, blah blah blah. But it's like nobody's competing with them shits. Like not a single person is, well, some people I'm sure, but like nobody like in the top spots are really competing with a titanium yo-yo because they're that much more superior. So I think yo-yo design still has a lot of runway to go through, and it's like, you know, being a proponent of the organic design wave that is still kind of prevalent within yo-yo, it's definitely been not railroad, excuse me, like it's been pushed to the side, like the advancement of yo-yo design, you know what I mean? Because
just modern competition is pushing that.
Right. And people care less and less about competition yo-yos. Like it's much easier to sell a novelty yo-yo or a unique yo-yo or just a yo-yo that brings something different to the table than like, oh, here's another competition yo-yo.
Right.
I mean, it's got to have a really good campaign behind it or the right person pushing it. Like I think Justin Dower's yo-yo sells decent. And then, I mean, all the Wild yo-yos sell really well. They're like when Justin was on the pod and he was saying like Wild changed the game, and it's like
Yeah, I mean
they just, and
I don't know that they did, but they're getting the recognition, it seems like, which is great. But they're just on a wave right now too.
Yeah, they just came up with a more
team.
original shape, and they're like really good at every time you come out with a new rendition of a really good shape, it like only re-solidifies how good that original shape is.
Yeah.
You know? Because you play with that and then you're like, oh shit, like I want to play with my original version of this shape more because I got the Delrin version and that one's sick, but then this one is the best one, or
I
whatever.
gotta get a dinosaur in the wild.
What a crazy name for a yo-yo, bro.
A DITW. Woo. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just unless someone comes up with some crazy new like pad material, but it's always gonna be silicone, right? So.
Yeah, even that though, like
Bearings are pretty maxed
yo-yo
out.
just because the equipment has always far surpassed what we're able to do with it. I think nobody really like harps too much on how like the research and development of the equipment. You know what I mean?
It hasn't always, but in modern, since like
The
2010,
last
it has. Yeah,
even
or
before
2008. I get whenever the 888 came out.
but I think like right around then it was like nobody was really like pushing the boundaries with like a freehand or something. Well, I don't know.
A
You're
little
right.
bit,
You're
yeah.
right.
But you're right that now we're well past. The yo-yos are more than good enough.
Right.
Although I guess if you talk to like a top competition person about like horizontal, there might be like some room for making a better, more consistent, crazy horizontal yo-yo or something. But who cares
Unless they're
about that?
making up the new Rock the Baby, the new Boingy Boing,
Yeah.
the new Mach 5, like none of that horizontal shit really registers with me. Like it's cool
Yeah.
and like it's hard obviously and like it's cool on stage or whatever, but like no kid is watching you throw a yo-yo sideways and being like, "Damn, I need to yo-yo so I can do that. I can look a mess having the yo-yo sideways and going back
Yeah.
and forth with it for no reason. Like you look crazy.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell what the fuck you're doing. I bet judges can't even tell what the fuck you're doing. Like while we're on the topic of research and development, like that's such a big argument I have every time people talk about the judging because it's like we should really have 2 or 3 layers of judges that are working through the tricks. Like there should be the first layer that judges the contest. There should be another layer behind the scenes that watches it at 70% speed so you get every single string hit and every single variation because like if someone's doing a crazy behind the wrist cross arm horizontal Eli hop, then that's technically like a 3, 4, 5 click trick, you know, but like are they really getting clicked with that, especially if they're doing 3 or 4 of them back to back in 2 seconds? Like there's no way a judge is going to click 15, 20 clicks in 2 seconds.
You might get punished for like being fast, too fast. But then it's like, I don't know. Do you focus more on presentation so that you make sure the judges can tell what's happening?
Yeah, I think yo-yo design
of the game.
is really just in general is like the next thing to really, and like, you know, not to make it sound like I'm glazing Yo-Yo Factory too much, but like it is cool what they're doing lately. And it's a lot of different manufacturers with the tri-material type stuff, but I feel like Yo-Yo Factory was like one of the first people to kind of really put it to the market and like mass produce one of them.
With the Miracle
like,
Yo-Yo?
Yeah. I'm sure that there's one that predates it or whatever, but you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I think yo-yo design and just yo-yo research and development is something. I think Hollywood modern yo-yos, Ross, didn't he do like a pad durometer experiment recently or something where like he actually measured the durometer of all the pads and like told people like this one the density makes it play like this one the density makes it play like that.
Yeah, different density pads.
Like not to and that's the type of shit that like right now it seems insignificant, but in 4 or 5 years we're gonna be
everyone
like,
will give a shit. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like in skateboarding right now, when I was a kid, the only 2 dimensions, or when we were kids, the only 2 dimensions that you measured it by were the length and the width, and that's it. You know? And now it's like people want to know about the wheelbase and the tailbase and how big the nose is and the shape.
I notice everyone skates like 8-inch or bigger now.
Yeah,
that was
really
like a
wide.
Joke when I was. That was like if you're skating vert,
and it felt insane if
but
you
I
ever
was skating
skated
7.5s like forever, and everyone thinks that's like a joke now. Apparently,
it's a toothpick. When you skate a skinny board like that now, it feels wild, and vice versa.
That's
like
so funny.
Like
I've never skated anything else.
Yeah, my decks are 8 wide now, which is like crazy to think about.
That was literally a vert board when
right.
I was a kid. Like,
yeah, and it just feels normal and looks normal. Like I remember friends that had 8-inch boards and looking at it and being like, "That looks like a surfboard. Like, what the fuck are you doing?"
All right, Tony Hawk, cool board.
Let's talk about Tony Hawk.
Is Brian Melford again? How do tariffs affect yo-yo companies and prices? I actually texted you about this.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about any of that shit, but maybe you were saying well, I don't know if we say you just
you just lie. Most things that come from China are undervalued anyway. Just because, you know, if and anything that's airmailed, I don't think is subject to tariff.
Yeah.
Or like if it is, it's like a much smaller tariff or something. Like G2 Jake had a good question about it on his.
Oh really?
Yeah. industry questions or whatever segment he does, and he was just kind of saying basically the same thing I was, where it's like maybe the companies that order them like in a shipping container, like they might be subject to more
like huge
extreme tariffs, but
who is doing that besides Duncan and the Yo-Yo Factory?
I don't know. And to be honest, like I don't see Trump getting very far with this tariff situation because like an iPhone is literally going to cost like $4,000 if that's the case. You know what I mean? It's going to be insane. And it's like, that's why in other countries it's so different. Like when you go to Brazil, the tariff on buying something in America or China is like, it's in the hundreds of percents. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like, it costs like 3 to 4 times the price that it actually retails for because like they want to keep production within Brazil. So like that's why like in Brazil, like remember those Volto yo-yos that came out? Like those are a great example. Like any international package from USPS has a $200 insurance policy on it. So like you got to be shipping a lot of yo-yos in order to like experience a loss unless you like ship something, you know, one of one or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, when Sid was living in Brazil, I sent him, I think I told you this story before, but like I sold all my free hands after I got on Yo-Yo Factory. I sold like $2,000 worth of free hands to like a couple collectors.
Yeah.
And I like kept all the really cool ones, like a bunch of Higbees, a couple freehand ones, my Bionic freehand one, my yellow and green freehand one. And I sent it all to Sid because I was like, I love Sid. I want you to have these. You still play with freehands. Like it'd be cool to see you have them. And then, but I told Joe Mitchell, who shipped it for me, I was like, insure it for like $500 in case it gets lost. And he's like, why? Like, it's going to cost like $50 more to ship it because of the insurance. I'm like, I don't care. Like, just ship it with that much and like, I'll give you the money, blah, blah, blah. And like, when it arrived, like customs tried to charge Sid like $1,500 to accept it because they were like, oh, like this must be worth a lot of money. He's like, it's literally all yo-yos. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, and they're all worth like maybe $20 a piece. So like, where it was just so funny because me being young and not understanding.
Did you get them return to sender? Or?
No, they just sat in Brazilian customs for like 2 years until Sid moved to America. And then like a couple months after he moved to America, his parents, when he was on the phone with them one time, was like, oh, we got a package for you randomly. And they just showed up at his house.
Wow.
Yeah, I should ask him sometime if he would, if I could be in it. Never mind. You know what I was going to say.
I think so.
An IG.
Yeah.
If I could get some of those back. Just the yellow and green one would be sick to get back.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, probably, I don't think it's going to
I doubt that it's going to affect anything just because, yeah. Just similar to how the student loan debt crisis kind of died with, you know, not coming to fruition. It's like going to be the same thing. Like, it's going to be really hard for Trump to pass any of those. Like, because even Republicans, like, they all have invested financial interests in all these. And it's not like overnight Apple is going to open a plant in Mexico and start. Like, so many of those chips, like the silicon chips that are in those phones and stuff, are made in those countries already. And it's like kind of impossible. Not impossible, but it would just take years to transport them over here. But yeah, anyway.
Probably not going to happen, but if it does, we're all throwing one drop only, I guess.
I remember when I first started at Yo-Yo Factory, they just passed the law for like some kind of toy testing process where like every toy that had like different components on it, if it was going to be imported from China, needed to have like specific lead testing for it. Yeah. And like it was so funny because when I first got a job there, Hans was just like, I don't even know how long we're going to be able to employ you for because of this new law and blah blah blah. And like he's just a crazy conspiracy theorist Republican, so of course he just thinks that the worst thing is ever going to happen when it comes to government regulation. But yeah, Ben was just like, it's going to be fine. You're fine. Like, don't worry about it.
Last Melford, is the goal to grow the community or to grow the tricks?
Both.
Yeah.
If you grow the community, the tricks are going to grow inherently. Like, because everyone has a really loud voice right now and hates on the current meta of yo-yo, like, it seems like everyone's really unhappy with it, but honestly, it's better than it's ever been, you know?
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's great.
When you really dig deep, like, when we were kids and, like, there was, like, maybe 50 yo-yoers worldwide that were that good or like
Yeah.
on the level of like understanding trick etiquette and
Maybe 50. Yeah, 50 is
50 seems
yeah.
even high.
Yeah, a
Because
little
like
bit, yeah.
not to put Japan down, but like Japan back in the day used to just be like Kota, Senba,
Yeah.
couple of
Shinji,
off-string
yeah.
players, Shinji, and that's it. You know what I mean? And like
Mhm.
same thing with Europe. It would be like Vasek and like one or two European guys, and it's like now it's like
Plamek.
every
Remember
Plamek, yeah,
Plamek,
Plamek, whatever,
the
yeah,
Polish guy. That was the
yeah,
Polish guy, right?
yeah.
He's so good.
But yeah, I think it's the goal and everyone's intention to definitely. Sorry. It's everyone's intention to grow both. I think the priority is the community just because trick growth is naturally going to happen. Or there's a lot of people who don't even think about expanding the community. They're like purely involved in yo-yoing for the tricks and the art of it, which is fine. Like you should partake in yo-yoing however you see fit and you think is the coolest part of it, which is going to keep you involved in the cycle of being a yo-yoer. But yeah, you know, not to be too negative or downtrodden about it, but every time a new yo-yo brand starts and isn't contributing anything to the community other than just bringing a new yo-yo to the masses, or every time somebody is that's really it. That's the only complaint that I have is like the pie isn't getting taller, it's getting flatter. It's spreading out more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where like we're not like building the community, we're like spreading everyone apart because like I
That's a
get
good
it, like
point.
that's how you make money in yo-yoing and it's cool and everything and I'm glad friends of ours and people who start companies that are successful are getting their comeuppance out of yo-yo if you've contributed a lot over the years. But that being said, it's like that's one positive connotation of supporting a Dunkin' or a Yo-Yo Factory, or at least old Yo-Yo Factory, is like they're doing things to popularize yo-yo and spread the community of yo-yoing and like trying to grow it because that's their ultimate goal is to sell more pro-yos, sell more butterflies, sell more, and then get people involved in that cycle of learning how to yo-yo and becoming obsessed with it. But like I don't know. It's there's room for both, but it just annoys me every time I see a new brand pop up and then it's just like, okay, cool, like you're gonna just put out a yo-yo, contribute nothing, and siphon like $10,000 or $15,000 in the community that could have gone toward a brand that's actually going to help stuff grow. But it is what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, it's inevitable. It's just too easy to make a yo-yo now, so it's
Yeah,
bound to happen.
and it's both sides of the coin's faults. Like it's the manufacturer's faults for being so loose with their standards of like, oh, anybody can just come make a yo-yo with
Literally
us. Like,
DMing everyone.
right, yeah, like anybody who has over 500 followers, like, would you want to make a yo-yo? Like,
Yeah.
come get it. And now that it's a little more expensive, it's I guess better, but it's like still not that expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, at least try to, if you want to
Yeah.
make one for fun, just make it for yourself. You can order 6 protos for a
Right.
couple $100. Let's do that. But if you want to sell some, you should allocate a little of that profit back to like at least sponsor a contest with like
Right.
product or something.
Like, think about it. If there was any other subculture activity in the world that had a handful of influencers that had over 10 million active audience or more, shit, just between, I think Betty has like 3 million on TikTok or something crazy. Like, they all have an insane amount of audience, but it's like, it's not like Bandai or Mattel is like, hey, knock, knock, knock. Like, can we pay you to play with our yo-yo? Or like, we want to make a yo-yo for you and have you promote that, and it'll be available at every Walmart in the fucking planet. Like, they don't do that, and there's a reason for it, And it's, I don't know why. I can't answer that question, but it's like,
What does Betty sell with her follow? Does she sell yo-yos?
yeah, she has
Just
a website.
like got like the basic yo-yo factories or something.
Yeah, but it's hard because Mexico is not a country with a lot of money, so
Right.
like she's not selling nearly as much as like Angela or Gentry or someone, but
Interesting. Yeah, good question. Thanks, Brian. Daniel J asks, can you do a flaccid hog DNA for the viewers? That is crazy how much that has stuck around, that soft hog.
I told you,
Trapeze.
man, it's a good clip.
Yeah, that's a good clip. I gotta do a
You
sequel.
can't do it with a flaccid hog though.
Yeah, there's no way you can DNA on a flaccid hog.
I've seen a yo-yo or a clip
That would be
that was just from the waist up, and they did it. I'm assuming with an erect hog, but
a DNA.
yeah,
You've seen that clip?
yeah. I didn't see the yo-yo on the guy's dick, but like you could, it's like his hands were in the air and like I don't know. So I guess he could have had something there that would have bounced it up, but I doubt it. I don't know. The person who showed me is very.
I'm gonna have to take a very close look at this video. See if this is real or not.
We definitely used to do that when I was younger, though. Try to do Brentstol on our wieners.
Yeah, that's
funny.
a classic. It can be. It can get really hairy down there. It can get messy. Yeah, the string burn and stuff.
Dude.
Yeah, but
and you'll never imagine how hard it is to get hard in front of all your best bros.
listen, while
I shouldn't
Off
have
Alone is
erectile
blaring.
dysfunction when I'm 17 years old.
Too much soda, bro.
Better off is blaring. No, I can get hard, bro. I promise, I can get hard. Everyone watch me.
How do we, MF Cicero? How do we feel about shutter wide angle, wangle,
The wangle.
and for that matter, other mass production yo-yos? Is that a mass production yo-yo?
I don't know. I mean,
I would consider. I mean, yeah. I guess there's levels. Like obviously a Dunkin' Butterfly is like a mass production yo-yo.
Right. I think any yo-yo, especially mass production, is a good thing as long as it's not trying to be marketed too hard toward regular yo-yoers, or like you have a short runway when you're just propositioning the regular yo-yo community to buy a mass-produced yo-yo, because like if you make a ton of different colors, then yo-yoers want the different colors, or a ton of different editions, they want the different editions. But when you make 10,000 pieces of something, you can't just do 100 different colors at once. You got to do like 1,000 of this color, 1,000 of that color, 1,000 of that color, and it gets tough, And it's not everyone does it like you, where they're like trickling out the same run over the course of 2 or 3 months. It's just like everyone all at once has 300 of these each. Go get them. And I think it's a good thing overall. I mean, whatever your goal is, and most people that make mass-produced yo-yos, they want to get them in people's hands. They want to sell yo-yos. Like, those are the people that want to expand the community too, because that's how you make more money ultimately. It's a good. I don't even want to say it's a bad. I don't want to say it's good and bad. Like, it's a good thing ultimately, because like it's going to expand the community, and just tertiarily, the people who buy those and get involved in yo-yoing, so it's going to trickle down, and some of them are going to want dunks, some of them are going to want hypernovas. Like, they're not all just going to keep wanting shutters and whatever the fuck else. So like it's a good thing ultimately. That was a big vision I had when I first started Recess, was just like we can all get money together and all like try to be on the same page with this, and like I'll repost something. I don't care if another company is in it. Like, you never see Caribou Lodge or Yo-Yo Factory, like if someone posts a store haul and it's like, oh, I got this Recess yo-yo and a Caribou Lodge yo-yo and this C3 yo-yo, like they never repost those. I could give a shit, because it's like it's not like me reposting that one time. Even if it does sell another C3 yo-yo, great. Like, I'm not that self-conscious or insecure about promoting someone else's brand, but it's not, in my eyes, it's all reciprocal and all cyclical, where like,
oh yeah, that's just like a no-brainer for me. But
yeah,
I'm not a big company either, so
right?
it's a little different. But yeah, you gotta support the homies. I've never thrown a shutter. I'll have to try one of those.
Yeah, they're good.
Thoughts on the current state of the trout population? What's Jake's favorite dunk?
The trout population?
I don't know the trout population on a whole, but I live
oh, the fish.
I live in front of a trout stream, and it's dry right now. That creek out front is
There's
bare.
no water
There's
in
no
it?
water in it.
Thanks,
Because
Trump.
it hasn't rained in a month. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's a drought.
It's a drought.
Thanks, Biden.
Dude, it's horrifying. We spent a weekend just like walking up and down the creek, and there's a lake that's dry. Like, everything is just drying up.
Holy shit.
Unless it's spring fed. This one's not spring fed. But it is a trout stream, and also the trout population in my front yard is zero. They're all dead. It's really sad. There's
crazy.
like, we found little spots of water, like little bit of water left with it would be like a puddle the size of this room with like 100 fish in it, and they're all just
Jesus
slowly
Christ.
suffocating. It was like almost brought me to tears. It was horrifying.
Damn, bro. I'm sorry.
And then, so yeah, I don't know. I hope that bounces back and comes back at all. I mean, it will, but all the eggs, it's gonna take a while. Like it was a very beautiful, nice fishing stream, and now literally all the fish are dead. Um, there's like wildfires on the mountains out here too.
I smelled that on my way out
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Like we've never had that before. Like it's really fucking crazy.
That's crazy.
That's like a West Coast thing, but
Yeah, when
you know,
I went
the
to New
world.
York this last weekend to see the new Cause exhibit, and when I was up there, when we got out of the car, it smelled like a wildfire. And Brandon is like, "Is there something on fire out here?" And I'm like, "I don't think so, man. I think we'd hear about that." And then he Googled it, and sure enough, yeah, there's hella wildfires in New Jersey right now. And I was like,
People
"Oh,
are setting
shit."
off fireworks and like not putting out their campfires, and since
Jesus
everything is
Christ.
so dry and there's all
Right.
the leaves, and it's like, yeah.
According to Trump, all we have to do is clean this up. He's
Yeah.
got to clean up the brush, and we wouldn't have all these problems. China.
I would assume the trout population in general is not. It's just gonna keep getting worse. Like everything is just pollution.
Luke Troutline, on the other hand, though, doing great.
Luke Troutline
Ivy
is
League
killing it at
education.
Yes, but trout, the animal, or fish. Yeah, and the water's getting warmer everywhere, and trout need cold water, so it's just they're fucked. They're gonna go extinct. But
For
we'll be
real?
dead. I mean, eventually, I'm sure. Yeah.
Damn, bro.
And my favorite dunk would be. Oh man. I don't know. I like them all for different reasons. You know, different.
Yeah, it's
days.
hard to pick a favorite one.
I can't pick a favorite yo-yo. I can't pick a favorite dunk. I like the new one, the dink extra wide, which is coming soon. I just have Protos right now, but that's a dunk variation. But that one is like plays performance wise. I think probably the best out of all of them so far, as far as like being a high performance type yo-yo. It's stainless steel, full size.
Like you said, you have different favorites for different reasons.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
The Dunk LX is really cool because it's unlike
Fun.
any other ones.
Yeah.
Like, and there's not really a organic Delrin yo-yo like that has a more mid-school feel.
Yeah.
Like all the Delrin organic shaped yo-yos are trying to be the new school shape, and that
Right,
one's like
right.
a nice regular old shape. I really like that slapper you did that is Good and Evil 1.
Yeah.
Or is it Handquake or Good and Evil 1?
It's a Good and Evil edition one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
It's a slap SS.
Like, it's cool that you remade the artwork that's like similar to the artwork on the yo-yo, but your own style. It's the same colors. Like, it's really dope.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
those came out really fun. I have a bunch of stuff at the laser engraver right now. Doing some good stuff. I got some Cerakote stuff coming, and then there's like 50 Dunk LX left, so get those before they're
Damn,
gone.
you're
Yeah,
trucking
they're
through
almost sold
those.
out. It's kind of crazy.
You're not gonna sell any to stores, or
I mean, 50 seems like too low to even
Right,
offer
yeah.
to like someone like I mean, I might if they just sit, but they're still going. Steadily,
yeah, a couple
so
here and there. Yeah.
I'll just hold on to them, and it'll be something to give to contests for prizes or to take to the next contest. You know, I kind of like having. At first, when I stopped like selling out in 1 week, I was like, "Oh, this is bad. Like, what's happening?" But now I just like having stock.
Yeah.
Because like people always swing around back and they're like, "Oh shit, this is still in stock."
They want to buy stuff, yeah.
Or like, yeah.
And it's like anytime you post something, like I always see a direct correlation with interest or sales on the website.
I haven't
you
posted in a while. I've been depressed the past 2 weeks, obviously. So, but
Like-
I got posts coming. I just got a big box of Cerakoted yo-yos. I'm gonna film a trick tomorrow with one of those and get the LX. I still need to make another like LX post with like some Dana Bennett footage. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I got plenty to do, and that shit really does.
Right. They just sold pretty well, so it kind of like
Yeah.
unless you have all that shit ready to go and you're just every
I've
week
just
putting
been
out.
a little burnout, but
yeah,
I
for
always
sure.
it goes in waves, you know, and I'll be feeling good again soon. So.
Yeah. You should rip that Miguel video from the Save Death DVD.
Oh shit! Is he using an Element X? now?
Yeah. That in the forest video.
Oh wow!
I
Is
used
that
to-
on Save Death 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to watch that video religiously just because Miguel was such a dope player to me,
Yeah.
and I thought his style was so sick.
Yeah, Miggy liked the LX. That was a huge honor. So is
That's
Spencer
awesome.
Berry. I was
Yeah.
like, that's what it's all about. It's cool. Rage Harvest 44. Not having a Dunk LX yet is destroying my health. What are the long-term effects? Don't worry, brother. There's plenty left. You'll be. AGR SoCal just wanted to say I appreciate the content. Thank you. And my question is regarding the Duncan post Tyler made. Just wanted to get more info.
Oh, so yeah,
it's exciting.
So,
damn, you should have brought one of those.
I'm sorry.
Fuck.
I got so few of them that like.
No, I just meant to look. Not
oh
for
yeah,
me.
my bad.
I just want
my
to see
bad.
one. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't. I'm gonna buy them like everyone else.
The one is literally the Danny one that you have over there,
Right.
And then the marble one.
I want to see yours in person.
Yeah. So they're doing a Champions collection, which, if you're an old school yo-yo player, you can do the math and figure out how many editions they're doing. Which, no Buko edition yet, which sucks. I don't know when. She had one of the best caps ever, bro.
I know.
That Buko cap. So it's
Yeah.
like, I wish that Danny had a set of those somewhere. I swear they're still around. Maybe he gave away the caps or something to somebody, but I swear they're kicking around somewhere maybe.
Pink with black caps, right? Or was it white caps?
She just made caps, and it was just a
That's
Buko,
right,
and it's just her dog with like the Duncan logo as the end of the leash, like the leash holder thing. But yeah, I don't think they're doing a Buko edition yet. I guess they couldn't get a hold of her or something, or I don't fucking know. But yeah, they're doing a Champions edition for me, which is gonna be green, white, and black marble, so it kind of has like a mint chocolate chip look to it. Which was the colorway I won with, just like green with black caps. And yeah, it's really cool.
What was it? Duncan equal love caps?
It was for the ladies caps.
For the ladies caps.
Yeah, on a green body, which is sick, but
that was the pink with black caps, was the for the ladies.
Yes, yeah. Which I think I have like 3 of those somehow. Like before freehand stock like skyrocketed, anytime I saw one, I'd just be like, oh, let me buy it. Because it'd be like $20-$25 people didn't think about. And I think they only made like a couple hundred of them, 200 of them, 250, something like that. But they didn't make many pink freehands, so it was just really cool anytime you got one. And
did you use a lime green freehand, or was it? It was like the freehand 0 green was.
It was lime-ish. It was supposed to
remember. I'm thinking of the blue with green caps they had, and then the green
with yellow caps.
They had a green with yellow caps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they tried to redo the freehand one color, but
right.
it was just like a shoddy rendition of it. Like,
got it. So it was just one of those, and it was with the black caps, and then you siliconed it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's kind of cool, full circle. I was thinking about this the other night, like.
My dad still has it. I should ask him to dig it up.
Dude, you got to.
He probably has no idea where it is, too. That's the funny part. Is
you got to. I'm so obsessed with yo-yos that people use to win things. I was asking Yuki about all his yo-yos that he used in freestyles over.
Did he have any idea? Or?
He did not even answer.
He left you on red.
Yeah, too nerdy, and he's busy. He's got his own shit going on. But to be searching for the Night Moves 2 yellow that he used to get.
They're probably just like at his mom's crib in Hawaii or something.
But I was like, I would just really like to see that.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, but it makes sense. I was thinking like it makes sense that like sitting here in the present that they're doing this and it's great, like the champion edition and stuff, and that you're getting a free hand. But can you imagine what we would have thought back in 2007 if you were told like you're gonna have an edition of a freehand from Duncan, and it's gonna be siliconed out of the bot,
dude?
Like, it would just wouldn't. You'd be like, yeah, no, they're
right.
never gonna release a silicone freehand. Like,
yeah, that's
you know
insane to think
it's
about.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is wild.
The silicone thing, it's like you were doing that yourself on a lathe,
a fucking Dremel, not even a lathe yet,
and now it's being produced that way.
Yeah,
like. It's just kind of crazy.
I don't think I got a lathe till like maybe Christmas 2007, I think, something like that. Yeah, right around then, because when Drew came to visit in like January of 2008, him and Danny were like just cutting random yo-yos. Yeah. He was saying like that's what we should do on the pod sometime. Like should bring my lathe up here, you come down and like just try to make a crazy mod.
That would be so fun. I would love that. I've never done that.
Yeah, him and Danny made a yo-yo that was like a freehand 0 with reverse mounted dark magic rings.
I remember that.
And it just played terrible. They just fell off instantly and would do like and like it just had like an imperial shape to a butterfly yo-yo. It's so funny to think about, but yeah, it would be kind of a funny segment to do. Just chop up old halves and try to make something
We
work.
should.
But
I got a box of halves we can use.
do you?
Yeah.
Have you seen Wesley Chang making those
Yeah, dude, insane.
redo Dark Magics? Yeah. Yeah, I wish I had more experience on it because, like,
Yeah,
I
no
have
idea
tons
how
of
that shit
parts.
works.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But
You just have to be really careful and precise and,
yeah,
like, take your time and, yeah.
maybe I'll go Harbor Freight, get a fucking lathe.
They're like $100,
I
$150. They're not that expensive, but.
So Champion Edition, yeah, you got one. Danny, more Danny's coming.
Yeah, and there's 2 Danny editions. So there's 500 of each Danny edition. Danny's getting the retro purple with white caps. And then the marble for Danny is purple, white, and clear, which is like, it's amazing.
It
Like,
looks so good. Yeah,
yeah, I wasn't,
marble is so good.
yeah, I wasn't worried, but like that one is by far like the best looking of the 3 in terms of aesthetics, and like I think it'll sell great. And then yeah, so yeah, there's 500 of each of those, but they said they only made 300 of my edition, which is a little ironic to me.
Yeah.
Danny's is like tested and tried and proven at this point, where it's like, I think,
Yeah, they can always make more ears.
yeah, they can, yeah, and if they do, like, I'm gonna take more of an initiative to do like a cooler color or something, because the original pitch I had, I'm sure I've showed you, was like get them to spray paint it, so it was like semi blind box, but like I don't know, and like it's kind of hard to make things with Duncan where like they just don't have like a whole lot of wiggle room with the factory and that kind of shit. Like if we pushed hard enough at the places that we make yo-yos, they would do some fucked up shit like that with us.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we'll spray paint it, whatever you want. Like as long as you don't care about it vibrating. But like, yeah, it's hard to do that stuff with the Duncan factory. So like,
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know what else I'd do. I would love to do a cool glow in the dark or something, but
Yeah.
I don't even know. Or like a better Enyo. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. I can't wait. I'm gonna be
Those will
buying
be out
all of them.
before Christmas, I'm sure, but
Crazy.
yeah, if you're interested in getting one, just pay very close attention, because when the Dannies originally came out, I think maybe like 200 made it to market, maybe 250, and I really expected them to at least last a day or two. You got
Yeah.
one, right?
Danny, yeah, I have got several.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I got one to play with, and I think 2 in the box
Nice.
still.
But they sold out literally so
Yeah.
quick. They were gone from every major website within like
Yeah.
5-6 minutes, and then I think like maybe Yo-Yo Loco or someone had some left over for like 45 minutes later, but then those sold out instantly too. So
Yeah, I'll be on there waiting.
pay close attention, be ready to pull the
I
trigger.
gotta get 2 of each. When can we get a mini dunk? Says CJ NXN. I think
It's
the.
gonna be CJ Atkins. You're a designer. Like, when are we gonna make him?
I mean, the dink is still in stock on Yo-Yo Expert, I think. So that's basically a mini dunk. I do want to make a mini. I've had the idea for an undersized yo-yo forever. I want to call it the hash brown after that little chopsticks trick I did.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
And I want it to be like a bi-metal, like a mini Motu, basically. So
Dude,
working on that.
Just remaking the mini Motu would be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna more or less be that. But I'm talking to the factory about doing brass rings and like how I can get it so they don't like tarnish so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have like a coating they can put on it.
Right.
But I would like to do brass rings and make like a mini bimetal chopsticks machine.
That would be sick.
Charles Schuler, have you ever had a dream where when you could do anything? I wasn't sure if that was like an inside joke between you guys.
No, that's such
It's
a.
Charles being weird.
I love Charles. That's such like a third grade question. Like, I had a dream I could do anything.
He's clearly Joey. He wrote it very fun. When you could do anything.
Oh yeah, no, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I
any
have
of my
been having
dreams.
crazy dreams the last year since I quit smoking.
Oh
weed,
yeah, that'll
but,
do
like,
it. I never remember them.
They're always just bad. Like,
Yeah.
it's never good. It's
No,
like,
it's like a lot of anxiety, heart rate. Wake up with my
Right.
heart racing and just like, oh, that sucked. But thankfully, I forget them very easily. So.
yeah.
We got a bunch of questions from Tyler WJ93. These are all clearly he's more of a beginner thrower. What? Yeah. Do you think it's important to keep using the same type of string? No, you can try shit out. That's
No.
all basically the same nowadays.
When Jake and I were younger, it was like a badge of
was,
honor when you
yeah.
like didn't know what your yo-yo setup was. Basically,
Yeah.
when people would ask you and you'd be like, "I don't fucking know." Like,
Yeah.
I just play with this, and like the best players, like they might be very specific about what they use, but they can also just rip it on whatever. It's not like
Yeah,
when
string
you're
is.
when you're a beginner, I think it's very equipment focused, or you're like just
That's with any hobby.
yeah, you're inquisitive about like what the best people use or how they get so good, and part of you is like, oh, it must be because they have this really
Yeah.
particular setup or they get really good, and it's like, no, like
I know it's hard to believe because as a serial hobbyist, I'm the same way. I get like very stuck on details when I get into something new. But for yo-yoing, I can say like like you just gotta believe me. Like it really doesn't.
Yeah.
All the yo-yos are good, and all the string is fine, good enough.
Jake and I got really good or got the majority of our skill sets on objectively bad yo-yos.
Yeah.
Like not
And
they-
like highlights weren't good string
No,
either.
yeah.
That shit sucked.
Right,
And
like-
Yo-Yo Jam Slick 6 was not great either.
yeah, literally any string you get nowadays is pretty good. Like even the cheap giant generic Chinese
the
string.
string that on this Hypernova it got me is like perfect. I love it. It's the perfect length out of the
Dude,
box.
every time that I do new
For
runs
me.
of yo-yos, people message me about the string.
Yeah.
Same with bearings too. It's like those NSK double straight bearings. It's like I can feel a slight difference, but it's like I doubt that that's gonna give me the extra second I need to beat Hajime on stage or anything like that. Or it's not like it's gonna make my yo-yo that much smoother and the tricks that much easier. Like it's nice to have and it's like a luxury accessory, but it's not like
Yeah.
not necessary. I don't know.
You can definitely nerd out on that stuff if it brings you joy, but you don't have to. The only way to get good is just practice a lot.
Right, yeah.
Like grinding.
Like if anything, get kind of a bad yo-yo and really practice on that a lot. And
Yeah.
then just when you get a better yo-yo, you're so thankful and it's like, oh man, this is great.
Skillet Casket asks, do you wear rings or hand watches while throwing yo-yos? That's an interesting question. I've never worn rings. I know people who take their wedding ring off to yo-yo or their regular rings, which makes sense because a ring's gonna like smack the yo-yo every time.
Yeah, I was
You're
hanging out.
anti-watches, right?
Yeah, I don't have
Yeah.
a watch. Fuck a watch. Yeah, I was hanging out with Adam Schultz this weekend in New York, and he like has mad rings on his hand, and he just like never takes off when he's playing with his yo-yos. Then he was playing with mine. He's like, "Oh, let me take my rings off." I'm like, I don't care, but
Yeah.
they are damaging to the yo-yo. John Rob, when we were kids, he got married like right as we were starting to hang out with him, actually.
Yeah.
And I think he broke like 3 or 4 wedding rings with counterweights. Like the
Whoa.
counterweight would hit the ring and then break apart. And it was made out of like
Wait, broke the counterweight.
no, it broke the
The
ring
ring?
because it's made out of like tungsten, so it's like a really strong
But brittle.
material. Yeah, but brittle if you hit it like just the right way. And he got like insurance on the ring, so like he would always just go get a new one, and it was just mad funny because like the jeweler would be like, "What are you doing to these things?" And he would just show him. He's like, "Oh yeah, that'll do it." Like,
That's crazy.
have you seen that viral video of people throwing bits of spark plug at their window to break it?
Yeah.
That's like a similar concept, I think, where it's like just the
Yeah,
right
like a
material hitting it the right way.
I'm just surprised the plastic dice would do that. But
I mean, it swings pretty hard. Like
you
it's
should have had gummy dice, bro.
yeah.
We sold it. Saved a lot of wedding rings.
Darnell sent me a picture of a gummy dice you sent him. It looks so dope.
Yeah.
The
I
red
think
and
he has like
yellow
a marble
swirly
one. Yeah. He got that world. So he's cool.
That's tight.
Coolest skill toy that's not a yo-yo, asked David Siecha.
Kendamas are really cool.
Those are cool.
Spin tops are very cool. They're just inherently really nerdy shit.
Yeah. Astro Jacks, of course. No. Juggling's cool. I guess that's a skill
I've been
toy.
getting into watching Poi a lot lately, which is sick. Poi's dope. Poi is like just
It
any
is
skill
cool.
toy that doesn't have a symbolic ending in a way is like,
Yeah.
you know. toy is very cool lately to me. What I was gonna say before Seth called was any skill toy that doesn't have like a symbolic you gotta look at this. um any toy that doesn't have like a symbolic ending to the trick, meaning like you catch the yo-yo, the kendama, you spike it. Like I always compare that to like the resolution chord in a chord progression when you're writing music, because like, and anybody who you don't even have to be familiar with music theory to understand chord progression, where it's like that relief that you hear at the end of a song or the end of a series of musical notes. And like poi is kind of like that for me, or spin top, where it's just like there is no ending, you just catch it and then stop it, or like you're doing the poi and then you stop it, or same thing with Diablo. It's just kind of like it's cool, but it's like there's no ending to it, it's just never ending. And like I don't know, I just think that's because that's one everyone when like not everyone gets involved with skill toys or whatever to have that infinite creativity bubble that we all love about yo-yos or kendamas or anything, where it's like you can just basically do it forever. Like they just get into it to learn the fucking 100 base set of tricks, and then like the way that you end that is with a bind, and then you catch the yo-yo or you spike it, and that's how you end it. And if you miss the spike, it's fucking the end of the world, or you miss the bind, it's like, oh god damn it. Like so yeah, I don't know. Like symbolically, I think that just says a lot. And like skill toys that don't have that, it's always hit differently for me. But
interesting. I never thought of it that way. I just am averse to poi because of the type of people who often do it.
Yeah, that too.
But
shout out Paul Harness.
No, Paul is one of the cool ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
no, for sure.
Festival hippie type shit.
And those are the type of people that'll be like, you can just keep flowing, bro.
Yeah,
like
it's flow art, bro.
Yeah, that.
I don't know about that.
Flow art verbiage is like to me so fucking annoying.
Yeah,
where it's just like, I don't know.
Whatever floats your boat. It's just not for me. But I also just have no. It's not that I don't have rhythm. I don't have something that I can't do the poi very well. But I haven't practiced hard either. I've never owned it. But every time I try, I'm like, this should be easy. It's like doing Tangler. In fact, it's not. It's a very different thing.
It is, and there's momentum and inertia you have to understand with it. But it's like, I don't know. People that consider these things flow arts, it's never people that like are really creatively artistically inclined, in my opinion. It's just someone who like is searching for like a name to affix to something.
Right,
It's like, why do you have to call it anything? Why can't this just be the name of the fucking toy? Like, because it reminds me of like when you're talking to a new person and they're like, oh, you yo-yo, that's so cool. Are you like, what is it, a yo-yo-ist or a yo-yo artist? Yo-yo. What are you a yo-er? And you're like, it's just yo-yo, you play yo-yo, you're a yo-yoer. It's like, oh, okay. Like it's almost too simplified for them or something. And it's like literally nobody thinks about that.
Yo-yo artist, bro. That takes me back to my sandwich artist days at Subway.
Isn't there you weren't around for that. There was like a lady up in Massachusetts that went by Yo-Yo Artist on social media. Yeah. And she bought like one of every yo-yo that came out. It was insane. Damn. Like she had one of those crazy accounts at Yo-Yo Expert that was just like, one of everything, put it to the side for me and I'll buy it. And
holy shit.
Yeah, she had like an insane collection and she got like really good at taking product shots and stuff. And then all of a sudden just like fell off the map. Stopped yo-yoing. It's kind of crazy.
Wow. Do you want to talk about the hypernet? That was all the questions, by the way. Thank you, guys.
That was great.
Sweet. So many. We'll have to do that next time. But you brought me this one. This is Matt Mandy's.
Yeah.
And it's the coolest. It's so good.
Which he did all the artwork for, / like a friend of his who's a stick and poke tattoo artist that made that like cool Calvin. Did I send you the other Calvin mock-ups he did for him? Which were like, there's one where it's like his whole autograph is just the peace stream. Like it's so wild.
This is incredible. Explain the Calvin peeing.
Yeah,
for
that's
people
just
who don't know.
It's like an old school Americana. It's like the original version of a meme almost, where like in the early 90s, probably even the late 80s. If you look up an article, you can find the exact date. I've looked it up years ago because I've always wanted to do that flip for a recess thing. But
Be like mid '90s for Calvin. I think.
Yeah, it started off as like a bumper sticker, and you could just put like whatever thing you weren't a fan of, and most of the time it was tongue in cheek. Like the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles have a rivalry, so like a big popular one in our neck of the woods is like Calvin peeing on like the Dallas Cowboys logo or something, or it'll be like Calvin, like when Bill Clinton was president, it'd be like Calvin peeing on Bill Clinton if you were a Republican or whatever, and like I don't see them as often anymore. I still see them
No.
occasionally, but it's mostly like on older trucks or something, or it's like in,
Yeah.
redneck parts of the country where like they think that type of thing is still a funny joke. But yeah, it just is kind of a denotation of like something you're not a fan of, but it's like I said, a tongue in cheek way. It's not supposed to be like a fuck this person thing. It's not like a F fuck Joe Biden thing or let's go
No.
Brandon thing. It's
It
like
didn't hold that much weight, but like
no.
I don't know exactly. I always thought it had a little something maybe to do with Bill Watterson, who made Calvin and Hobbes.
Mhm.
Is always been like a super outspoken. Like he never licensed them for anything
Oh, really?
ever. There are no official Calvin and Hobbes
Interesting.
merch in existence.
That's wild.
Period. Except like there's like if you're a there's like a handful of calendars he did like early on where he but there's every shirt, anything you ever see is bootleg, and like he is like pretty litigious and does not like it.
Whoa.
So
I hope he doesn't see these.
no, not. I don't think with that. Like I think I don't know what he feels about the Calvin pissing one, but like I just feel like it was sort of a rebellion thing, like a little bit. Not that everyone knows that little fact about him, but it was when Calvin and Hobbes was huge, which it really was in the '90s. Like
Yeah, when like Sunday
people
comics
were aware,
popular.
like you can't, because people were clamoring. They wanted a little Hobbes doll. They wanted stuff, and people got kind of mad at him that he wouldn't make merch, because every other comic, Dilbert and everything, makes $1 million. You can get anything you want, and he could have made millions of dollars, but he just had principles and was like, no, I'm not gonna let my creation be under anyone's control but me. Like
Calvin and Hobbes had like a little more of a morally righteous side to it, or like
he's a really crazy guy. There's one photograph of him, like you can't. No one knows where he lived. Well, they know like he lives somewhere in Ohio, but he's like super.
That's wild.
He's a fascinating dude, and Calvin
so
and Hobbes is awesome. If you haven't read it, I have the whole collection.
But, do you really have all the
I
books?
got it,
Holy shit! How many books is it?
They made like a complete collection, so it's like 3 really thick books.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I don't own like all the individual. I have a bunch of those, but yeah, I grew up with it. But I don't know. I just maybe it's not connected at all, but I always thought like that's just an interesting part of it too. That,
I'm
like,
sure that might be part of it,
because it did become like a meme, like you said. Like everyone wanted that Calvin pissing. It's just like funny, and it kind of fits the character's personality, but it's also obviously clearly inappropriate and not something the guy would make him do. But
yeah, he's a bit of a maniacal character. Like he's just always getting into some shit, and then the tiger has to come and be like, "Oh, Calvin!"
Right.
Like,
but it is just a very cool, like, I don't know. As soon as I love it. It's so funny. And then the tribal tattoo, and then it just says shoplift on the side.
Yeah.
And the colors look sick. And when it's spinning, it's a very good color because pink and purple is sick. But then the engraving on the inside makes like a racing stripe almost.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Like, it looks really good spinning with the white.
Sick. Yeah.
Like overall, just a super sick looking yo-yo.
Yeah, I love how it takes two like very '90s feeling things and combines them with
the colors are like '90s. Yeah.
The tribal tattoo and the Calvin.
Come here, you're a little fucking bastard like Calvin. Yeah, love this one. What about the others? So you got CJ has the
CJ's is
316 Steve Austin.
Yeah,
style,
it's a Stone Cold Steve Austin flip. Yeah,
but
which
it's 4-4 for like 44.
Yeah, which in the future I would love to do more wrestling themes because like the Hulkamania logo would be sick just to flip to say Hypernova, or the old NWO logo. Like,
oh man,
there's so many good ones when we were kids. You know what I mean? Those are really like the most notable ones, but there's a handful of other cool ones. Yeah, it would be cool just to do a whole wrestling capsule, or maybe do like a handful of wrestling ones next round or something. But I have a feeling because people like these so much, I'm gonna end up doing this again in the future. Just another team series of yo-yos.
You should, yeah.
Yeah. So CJ's is that. Dennis's Dennis originally wanted to do this skull with a Monstera plant coming out of it, and he had like a reference, and we were just literally going to jack that reference and use that as the artwork. And when I pitched it to Drew, I was telling him, I was like, hey, like, if you don't feel comfortable just vectoring this and using this, like, please let me know and I'll get him to say something else. And he's like, oh yeah, cool, no worries. And then like he's so good, he like literally kicked all these out in like 2.5 hours on like a Tuesday morning or something completely
Wow.
random. But he gets them all done. Then he gets to Dennis. Is like, hey, like on second thought, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. So could you get another idea from Dennis? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I forgot he pitched me if we could do Atlas or not Atlas. I was gonna say Atlas Shrugged because that's no the.
He said Atlas Shrugged in the comments, so that must be Atlas, right?
No, what's there's a name for the character that's rolling the ball up the hill.
Oh,
Atlas Shrugged.
Sisyphus.
Yeah, Sisyphus, yeah, because Atlas Shrugged is the book that
Ayn
Ayn
Rand,
Rand
yeah.
wrote. Yeah, that's like the conservative Bible.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because Dennis is like a devout liberal. But yeah, so when I hit him up, he was like, oh, let's get like Sisyphus just holding the plant. And I was like, bet. And then like sent Drew a couple versions of it, and then he immediately sent that back within like 20 minutes, and it looked amazing. And it looks great. Like I am glad that like it's such a dope piece of art because like Dennis is a dope dude and he's a dope yo-yoer and he deserves something really cool.
Yeah.
But it also just it's like if I make more that style in the future, it's like Dennis was the first one. So people are gonna be like, oh, this is like the cool Dennis edition. I'm like, yes, it is like the cool Dennis edition, which is fine, but it's just funny. Like, because imagine if I were to do like the Last Supper on a yo-yo or something. Like, how sick would that be? But it would be very similar to the Dennis style one. But,
right.
But it's cool to like unlock a new aesthetic for a yo-yo.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? Not many people have done that. Like, I don't even know what you'd call that. Like,
I don't know
fucking
either.
Renaissance style art,
Yeah.
I guess, or
no,
something.
it looks great on
Yeah,
it.
it looks awesome. And then Adams is basically just a straight up flip of the Miller High Life girl.
So good, yeah.
Yeah, I am bummed just because the color's a little dark on them. It still looks good and it looks good in person. It's just hard to photograph, but yeah, it's a straight up flip and she's doing Shoot the Moon and like
Yeah,
holding
that
a
art
beer.
is so good.
Yeah, what I said when Drew was doing it, he like sent me a comp of the art and I was like, this looks perfect. Could you re-add the beer in her hand? And he was like, man, doing Shoot the Moon with a beer in your hand is kind of a wild gesture, but like, all right. And then he sent it back, and then he put the beer in the Shoot the Moon and then I was like, no, can you put it in the other hand? He's like, oh yeah, that's what
I see.
I was saying. It makes like no sense with it being in that hand. You're just whipping a beer all over the place.
Oh. We gotta do that. That's funny.
It is funny, yeah.
Shoot beer everywhere. Hey. Nice. That one is good. CJ's. Who else? We talked about Calvin. Oh,
He's immediately pitched that idea, which, like, Harrison loves to play up the fact that he's a good looking dude and a model and, like, is a ladies' man. And he has a good flip of the Hypernova name for his pro model, too, which is, like, so sick. I'll tell you after the pod.
Nice.
But, like, it's something that, like, I wish I would have thought about previously because I'm like, damn, like, I would have loved to do that, but I can't at this point. Because it's too good and like you deserve it more than I do. But yeah, his is just three like kiss prints on a yo-yo, which is sick. And like that one and the matte one are going to be the most popular, just because like the matte one is so outrageous.
Yeah.
And like it's so fun and cool, and the colors are so striking. And then the hue one is like people love colored laser engraving, but it's like the red against the silver is insane.
It is insane.
And then it just looks so good. Like I wish I would have made more because there's only 30 of them, and they're going to go so quick.
Yeah, they are. It's an amazing looking yo-yo. Then you did the Bear Off Alone again, which looks sick in pink.
Yeah. It came out more red than pink, which sucks because, like, at Yo-Yo Factory, we did a pink-colored laser-engraved Supernova that looked amazing, and I wish I just would have sent that as the reference to what pink I wanted it to be, but it doesn't look bad. It's just more red than pink. I don't know.
And then the Coffin Edition has a crazy acid wash.
Yeah,
that fits perfectly because it's like flaming
acid wash. Yeah.
It's almost like the Yoga Flame just has black in it.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's It's great. The coffin one, I'm just gonna keep running indefinitely in different colorways every run because it looks so dope, and I love that artwork and I love
Yeah.
that sentiment, and I feel like especially now it's only more relevant than it was 2 months
Yeah.
ago when I originally ran it. Um, and it just looks good. Like artwork that breaks the invisible lines of yo-yos when it's done the right way, I feel like is very cool, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's very similar to like an all over print t-shirt where like t-shirts when you have a comfortable viewpoint aesthetic of how a t-shirt is supposed to look, it's like a 9x9 box on your chest, but when you get like the print all over the place on it, it's like a little
Mhm.
disorienting but also cool, and
Oh,
like
it's
when it's the right artwork and done the right way, and it's like that's done great because like it's just the flames that surpass the invisible lines, so it's like the round part still stays within the round invisible
yep.
circle of the yo-yo, and then like flames aren't confined to a singular shape ever, so it's like it just literally looks like it's burning up the side of the yo-yo.
It's a great point. It looks so good. The invisible line thing's a good point, and then also just engravings on the inside, like the Harrison and this one too. You don't see as often on yo-yos.
Yeah,
Just everything's always right there. You know what I
I
mean?
guess Yo-Yo Factory was probably the first people to do that, or one of the first people to do that.
What did they do it with?
They did like the Celtic 888 had like a
Yeah.
band around
Okay.
it, and then the Spin Gear version had like a dragon Ouroboros,
Yeah.
which was really cool.
Yeah, I remember that one.
And then trying to think of what else. I'm pretty sure they did a few more. I think Steve's had a bunch of engravings in there too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
his tattoos.
But like you said, it's just like an underutilized space for artwork, so it just looks cool and it's dope.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, everyone really killed it with their ideas and was like very. It was a great team effort between me and the people who proposed the ideas because obviously not everyone's ideas were just like ready to go, or like Hughes was ready to go, but it's like he had no idea how he wanted to juxtapose the lip marks on it. So when I proposed like, oh, let's do 3 evenly spaced ones, he was like, perfect, let's do it. Like everybody was flexible and like let me do my thing and I let them do their thing and tried to find a happy medium with everyone. And yeah, it turned out amazing. And you know, not everyone on my team is like a super popular player anymore, so that definitely was a bit concerning to me of like, is this going to sell well, or is there going to be a demand, or are people just gonna be like, oh, these look cool, like great, and then they're just gonna sit. But like I
No,
think they're gonna be, yeah,
one of the
really,
coolest drops I've seen in a while.
yeah, which makes me feel great. Like I feel
Yeah.
great anytime I drop a yo-yo, and even if people aren't ecstatic about it, it's still just like, oh, cool, like people still fuck with me and like the things I'm making. But to put this much effort and like feel vulnerable in a way, even though it's not like I did anything out of the box, or it's just not ordinary and it's not like a cookie cutter additions. It's like really cool to get that feedback, and
Yeah.
especially how subversive this artwork in particular is, and like how that just kind of caused a bunch of strife in the the comment thread yesterday. It's like,
Was it in the comments?
yeah, the one
I saw you had 65 comments. I was like, damn.
there maybe like 20 of them are this one yo-yoer like that's inappropriate, and then like 15 yo-yoers being like, what is your problem? But yeah, most of the comments were just, not most, like a good portion of them were defending your ability to put what you want on the side of a yo-yo, which I don't know, I think is, I don't know, like yo-yo needs more shit to shake it up, you know, like
It's
because
just art, man. It's just artwork.
right, yeah,
It's and it's like you didn't draw your own little boy and his little penis and put it on. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like this is an actual cultural reference.
A
Like
few
it's
years
art.
ago, I had like a porn star that was a yo-yoer friend, and she like sent a funny photo of her like covering up her nipples with her yo-yos.
Yeah.
And one of them was a first base, and one of them was one of Evan's yo-yos. And I posted it, and like I lost like 200 followers and gained 300. Like it was kind of insane. Um, but that being said, like so many people were just like, you can't do things like this. It's like Ed Haponic had like an aneurysm because he like left this long diatribe about how like women should be allowed to dress however they want to without sexual expectations and all this kind of stuff. But like also I fear someone like my daughter seeing this because she sometimes enjoys yo-yos and then thinking that this is a usual thing. Like It was just a very conflicted
Yeah.
dad standpoint, and I was just like, well, I don't know. Like, it's just a photo. Like, it's not. I don't know.
Not to sound too nihilistic, but it's like you see the world we live in right now, right?
It's exactly what
The
Coffin
vapes
said in
got
the
computer
thread.
screens on them. You see who the president is now. Like,
Yeah, convicted sex
just
offender.
protect. You know, be a good parent and good luck, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, shit's
Yeah,
kind
but
of free for all at this point.
yeah. So it is what it is. And then I did some raw ones too, which it's funny because
Hell yeah.
I pre-sold a bunch of them, and then like I sent out the messages this afternoon of like, "Hey, send me the money for them," and I've gotten like half the responses back for them. So I'm like, "God
That's how
damn
it
it!" Like,
goes. Wait for that paycheck to hit.
yeah, that too. I mean, they could say that,
And
and that
they're
was
probably seeing these and like, fuck, I don't want the raw anymore. I want the Calvin pissing. But
I let everyone know too. Originally, I'm like, "Hey, if you need a little while to pay for it, I'm like, don't trip. Like, it's all good. Just let me know you actually want it, so I can set it aside for you." And
worst case, this guy
whatever.
copper plated, dude.
Yeah,
And nickel.
I'm getting a bunch of debearing joyrides done with nickel and copper. So
Copper's gonna be sick.
yeah, I'm doing a sick BAM edition.
What?
Yeah, let me show you.
Yeah. What color is that?
On purple. Purple with the heartogram, yeah.
Oh my god, dude. You got some on the BAM.
That'd be hilarious. She's like, what is this shit? Throws it
Try to
against the
smoke
wall.
meth with it. We got some fan mail here.
What? What is
Yeah.
this? I was wondering what that
We got
was.
a box open from... Shit. I think... First name is Nate. Let me pull it up so I don't get your name wrong, bro. He sent me this like weeks ago, but we haven't had a pod since. I wanted to open it on
I
the
hope
pod.
it's not dying or rotted inside.
Yeah, Nate Morris. Thank you, Nate. He said, I forget what he said. Some like old school stuff or something.
Oh,
that he
word.
had laying around, so I don't know. Let's see what
That's
we got.
crazy.
Thank you, Nate. Shout out, Nate. Let's see what we got here.
Dude, I got a free gift from Uline today because I
Oh,
ordered
yeah?
so much shit. I got a sick pocket knife.
Nice, dude. That's
Like
so
a nice
funny.
one.
We order so much Uline at work, and so we get like a free gift pretty much every month. We
Yeah.
put in a huge order, and I've gotten like a grill, like.
Oh, he lets you guys have it? That's
Yeah,
sick.
he lets us pick what we like. Just cycle between us. But
Yeah.
I got a sweet Eagles jacket one year.
It was so funny because Yo-Yo Factory, all that shit kind of built up after a while, and then
Yeah.
Boyd was just like, "Oh, what is all this like stuff?" and was like always trying to get them to order some crazy shit, but like a
Yeah.
pinball machine or whatever. What is this?
Doc Pop. Dude, this is one of his.
Whoa!
This is one of Doc's. Is this his art or?
That's Doc's art. Yeah.
I remember when these came out. That's crazy. Add this to the collection, bro.
Fun tees.
2005. It's like a big yo-yo in the city.
Damn,
the
it's
string is embroidered.
embroidered? That's
yeah, add that to your
insane.
collection, dude. That's crazy. Wow, Nate. When did you?
It's got some
I mean,
yo-yo
you must
holes
have
in the bottom.
gotten that way back. It is old, right? Fun
Yeah,
Tees.
yeah. I've never heard of that brand of t-shirts either. That's insane. This is wild.
Dude, I remember him dropping these. This was, I think he might have had. I mean, it says 2005, so I guess it was 2005 Worlds.
Where does it say that on it?
Pop
Oh.
2005.
Huh.
But these are. That's crazy, man. I
It's
forgot
insane
about this
how
one.
Worlds used to kind of have like a Grateful Dead lot vibe to it,
Yeah.
where people were just selling T-shirts out of their bag and shit. Like,
I gotta find
that's such a cool
fucking-
vibe.
I have a whip shirt somewhere. I gotta find it. What's this? I assume an OG clear base.
Wow.
I don't think I have an OG one.
Damn, that's yours. I have a handful.
This I have already, but this is classic. Yozone VHS.
Damn, what a gift. This is crazy.
That is crazy. It's like yellowing. a
Nate,
little bit.
thank you.
Dude,
Where is this person from?
Nate is from La Grange, Texas. Oh shit.
What the fuck is this? Oh, maybe a magazine?
I think it is. Bro.
Fiend. Whoa. Do you have that one yet?
I don't have any Fiend
Whoa.
magazines.
That's sick. We'll have
Issue
to
number 3.
look through it or scan it all in.
1999 Bay Area classic is the cover story. Why we all like bullwhips, Crashing Toy Fair, and McBride confesses. Oh shit!
I love how they tried to make it like semi risque. Like,
Yeah.
and then also them yo-yoing on like an abandoned car. It's like
Yeah. Wow.
word. Well,
Sorry.
no, you're good. I just
That
I'm like
was so boring.
we can just go over it another time. We can scan it all in and go page by page and put it up.
That's
on the
a good
screen, but
point. I got sucked in, man. That
I'm
was so
sorry.
good.
No, you're good. Is there
Thank
anything
you,
else you want to
Nate,
cover?
again.
Yeah, Nate, thank you so much for the
Fuck.
gifts. This is amazing. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna literally wear this shirt at
Yeah.
some point.
So sick. Yeah, I guess I have nothing else. There's gonna be Cerakote stuff coming down the line, and that's it, I think.
Yeah, Hypernova will be out by the time
Hypernova
you hear
tomorrow.
this.
What were they? 60 bucks?
65, 70.
That's awesome, dude.
Probably keep it at just 65.
Hell yeah. Those are gonna go quick. Get one of these. Get a Matt Manley.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that a couple of the colors are just gonna sell out so quick, but it is what it is.
That's the way it goes, man.
Yeah, and people who want them will still buy
inevitable.
one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just funny that it's just always there's one or two colors that like fucking fly, and yeah.
It's impossible to get everything consistent. It's the same way with the Dunk LXs. Like the yellow and black was like just gone the first night, like immediately.
That's crazy.
And then yeah, yellow is just cool on a
Is black with
Plastica.
gold rings or
It was yellow with
Oh,
black rings.
yeah, the Wu-Tang one,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Wu-Tang one, which I did push pretty hard, but it's also just yellow is so cool looking.
yeah, yellow Delrin is like
On the yo-yo, might as well tease the yellow. The yellow chunk came out
it
crazy.
literally looks like a jar of mustard.
It's a big old
insane.
mustard edition. Big old lemon.
Or
Yeah,
11.
It's
Yeah,
kind of glossy. This guy is so good, man. And I weighed them too. I thought they'd be like significantly heavier, like with powder coat, but I guess Cerakote's a lot thinner or
Yeah.
lighter because they're the same more or less weight.
It's just a spray. Like there's very little actual material in the spray versus powder coat. That's like a very material heavy process.
Crazy.
Yeah, word. Well,
Yeah, that was fun. Thanks, guys.
yeah, thanks. Peace.